Alex, the Cheltenham Improvement District, or BID, charter is coming up for renewal at the end of June. Can you tell us what Cheltenham BID members need to consider during that process?
The first thing I'd tell them to do is to vote. I think that's the biggest challenge coming up for the BID, is to make sure that the members of the BID zone who receive ballot papers actually use them. If you don't use it, it doesn't count. And if you want to make a difference to your town, then you need to vote, and you need to vote yes if you want to make things better for the future. I think you have to look at the work the BID's done and what it looks like with the BID and what it looks like without the BID, and they're two very different pictures.
And what are the challenges that the BID faced at the beginning, and what achievements can you point to?
In the beginning, the BID was relatively unknown. No one knew what it was or what it was going to do and how it was going to benefit the town. And I count myself in that. I was a huge sceptic, and now look at it, I'm chairman of the BID. So it makes a huge difference having a BID here. And I think the biggest challenge at the start was recognition of what it is and how it can help. I think now, having seen the successes we've had, such as the events we've held, Kevin's Big Wheel, as we call it, in the town centre, we've had various festivals. We've spent a lot of time working on Tidy Up Cheltenham to make the place look cleaner. We've spent money on parking, to try and find parking schemes for people. That's been a huge challenge. But also the fact that we're sat there lobbying the council to make improvements to the town. We're working with landlords to get occupancy up and try and encourage businesses in. And you're starting to see that now with businesses starting to reoccupy premises, albeit after the pandemic. They're starting to come back in now. And the BID has been a huge part of that. And you'll see those differences in term 2 as well, and we're going to get bigger and stronger and make Cheltenham better.
As Cheltenham comes out of the pandemic, how important will the BID be to the town's economic future and the business community?
It's going to play a huge role. I think without the BID there, we have no cohesive plan. There's no joined up thinking. It'll all be businesses working independently from each other, and that's not a plan for economic growth. If Cheltenham businesses want to grow and want Cheltenham to be better for their own success, not just the success of Cheltenham, but for their own businesses, they need to join together. And the only way of doing that is the BID. There is no other alternative. You can't sit there and join an alliance where the businesses contribute to marketing of Cheltenham, to improving the town itself. The council aren't going to do it anymore. Those days have long gone. The council don't spend money on things like that. They need the external funding from the BID to make those changes. And so if businesses want to achieve success and economic growth, they have to support the BID's reballot through voting yes.
The BID and the rest of the Cheltenham business community mourn the loss of the BID's director, Kevin Blackadder, this past year. How do you assess Kevin's legacy, and how will the BID be organized going forward if the vote is successful?
It's a tough question, because we're sat, in where, as we said a minute ago, where Kevin used to walk and see all the businesses. His legacy is Cheltenham. One of my last conversations with him was about how he wanted to make sure that the BID was successful in its reballot. So for me, making sure that we have a successful reballot is that, Kevin was the BID. That said, he built a great team around him, and Belinda Hunt, who's our operations manager, she's done a fantastic job in helping the town and making the BID work. We've got some great ambassadors. Phil's been there from the beginning, and Rob's just joined us as an ambassador, and we've got 2 new ones starting today to work with the businesses. So the legacy is Kevin. The success of Cheltenham is Kevin, and Kevin will always be remembered, but the BID will go on, and if we get it right, Kevin would be immensely proud. So it's not reliant on Kevin, because we've got a great team, but it will be his legacy to see the success of Cheltenham.
And what's your final message to the business community regarding the BID?
My main message is look for your ballot paper. The number of people that have a ballot paper through the letterbox, they say, I haven't received it, we didn't get it, we didn't do it in time. Your vote counts, and it means something. It's not just a vote, you're voting for the success of Cheltenham and everything else. And if you can do that, then you're doing your bit for the town. Okay, I understand, I have a business in Cheltenham, there's an economic cost to it. It's not huge, but it is a cost. And out of a pandemic, I understand why people would be hesitant to do it. But if you can think about the bigger picture, and it's a small contribution to the success of your own town and the business that you're in, then it's well worth it. And united, all the businesses will be far stronger.